Lord, the Red Sox have walked it off to go to their first ALCS since 2018 when they won the World Series. The #1 seed, the Rays, gone. They're out. They're done. The Red Sox, who almost weren't even in the playoffs, they almost lost to the Nationals, and we're going to have to play a playing game against the hottest team, the Jays. They almost didn't get in. They get in. They beat the Yankees as underdogs. At home underdogs, they beat the Yankees. And the reward to beating the Yankees is to playing the #1 seed in all of the American League. And what do? They walk them off to go to the ALCS. The first team that is clinched to head to the championship series. And it happens against the #1 seed in the American League. Holy moly, Kike Hernandez in this series, unbelievable. The Red Sox are not in this position if not for Nick Pivetta, Tanner Houck, the guys that saved this team and out of the bullpen to even get them to this position. Kike Hernandez, the hero of this series, I don't think he ever got out. Fittingly, he is the one that ended this series for the Red Sox to send them to the American League Championship Series as a wild card team. I'm telling you, these wild card teams that sneak in always do damage. You sneak into the playoffs, you do some damage, and here they are, beaten up on the #1 seed. This is unbelievable. What an unbelievable atmosphere at Fenway. I said it the other day. All you have to do is win one of those games on the road if you're the lower seed. Win one. Split them. Because then you can come home to one of the best postseason atmospheres of all time at Fenway Park and do this. Not even go back. They're not even going back to Tampa because they just walked it off to go to the ALCS. Unbelievable. We're not talking Apple Sox. We're not talking barbecue sacks. We're talking Red Sox, as my friend David Ortiz would say. Multiple times. A lot of times he says that. But I know he's saying it right now. Unbelievable. I was sitting here watching this game back and forth. Red Sox get a big, big lead. You think it's over. You don't foresee the Rays. The Rays aren't known for their offensive output. Then they come storming back. Wander Franco, the wonder kid, who's a superstar in this league at 20 years old. He can't even drink yet legally. He hits a huge bomb to get him back into it. Then they end up tying it up. And then you got Kike Hernandez, the hero. It's just so fitting. He's been doing it all series. All series. He hit over 500 in this series. That last ball was crushed. There wasn't a chance at the plate. Unbelievable. The place was rocking. I was sitting here and the biggest fan in the world going nuts. Just as a fan of the game, I watched this and was going nuts. This was unbelievable. This is what October baseball is all about. This series, right here. This has been the best series that we have seen so far throughout the division series. All of them. You look at that first game. The first game of the series was kind of a stinker. You know, they blanked them, and then everybody thinks, oh, the Rays are going to sweep, the Rays are going to sweep. And then what do the Red Sox do? They come back out and they mash, and they make this a series. And I came out on this show and this live reaction show and said that was a statement game. That game right there was more. The second game of this series was more than just a win for the Red Sox. It was a statement game. They went out and not only showed that they could win, they showed that their offense was better than the Rays' good pitching is. That's what they showed in that second game because the Rays made that a bullpen game. They threw everybody they had at the Red Sox. They didn't have an answer. So that was a statement. And I sat right here and said that statement game matters. The pitchers are now the pitchers are now in their head. Their confidence is lost. The Red Sox hitters' confidence is through the roof against the pitchers that they're going to face for the rest of the series. Game 2 changed this entire series. All of it. Now you go through, they end up dominating that game, really from start to finish. Game 2, let's think about Game 2. And this is the game where Kike Hernandez starts to dominate, by the way. But You know, first off, we have to talk about Rafael Devers, who's injured this entire series. I think he's playing at about 25%. In Game 2, he hits a bomb. Kike hits a bomb. It just felt like they could do no wrong. So it really becomes a game. You know, the Rays in that first inning, the Red Sox put up 2. The Rays answered back. You have Chris Sale on the mound, who's the Red Sox key piece, you would think, in this series. You got Chris Sale on the mound with a 2-0 lead in the first inning. The Rays answer with a grand slam off of Chris Sale. They end up scoring 5, knock Chris Sale out after an inning, and you think right then and there, after 10 innings of this series, it's over. This series is over. The Rays just put up 5 in the first. They're done. They have the best pitching there is. They're done. The Red Sox are done. They're cooked. They're barbecue. Get them out of here. Wrong. The Red Sox answer back. Home run after home run after home run. Devers steps up. Kike Hernandez has 4 extra base hits. 4 extra base hits in the game. 5 hits for him. The hero of this series. They end up scoring a bunch of runs, come back, win that game, statement game. Let's go to Fenway, tied. Good luck to the Rays in the best postseason atmosphere there is, in their mind. Hard to argue with it, too. Good luck to the Rays. Now we're splitting the series. Come to our home. We'll take care of business. And they did just that. They get to Fenway. They take care of business. Truly, truly incredible. Rafael Devers tonight, like I said, 25% health, I think, with an absolute bomb to get him up 3-0 early in the game. I mean, a bomb. That ball went higher than it went far. Off the bat, everyone was just standing there looking at it. Devers, the pitcher, me. I just turned around and stared at it. What's going to happen? Nobody knew. It got out. Huge, huge play in this game. Gets him up 3-0. Again, you think it's over. You think the series is over. You know, right then and there. This is the elimination game. They go up 3-0. Like I said earlier, the Rays offense isn't off the charts, but give them credit, man. Give them credit. They battled back. Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena, the 2 heroes of this team in October. 2 young guys, the 2 heroes of this team in October. Get them back in it. Kevin Kiermaier with a huge hit and a huge throw, by the way. Huge throw late in the game in the 8th to get the Red Sox back out there when it looked like they were about to score. Throws him out at third base. I was going nuts in here. What are we doing? Why are you tagging up from second to get to third base with 2 outs? Just not good base running. I was shocked. I was tweeting about it. But you know what? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. The Red Sox end up walking it off in the bottom of the 9th. Kike Hernandez, the hero. Let the celebrations begin for the Boston Red Sox as they're currently out there celebrating. You know what? I want you guys to enjoy this. I want us all to enjoy this. Let's throw this down to our cameras. Let's enjoy this celebration together. All right. This is what October is all about. We're about to start the celebration. Look, I got to experience these celebrations once as a player professionally in Grand Rapids. I got to experience this, and it was one of the coolest moments of my life. We clinched the playoffs. You know, you get the champagne in the lockers. You know, even at the minor league level, they do this. They put all the plastic up over your lockers, like we see here as they're about to roll, and then we all come in and we say a little speech, and everybody goes nuts. It's truly incredible. And then, you know, as a family member, my brother's gotten to do this a few times, and I've been lucky, you know, even as back far as 06, was in the locker room when the Tigers clinched, and 12 and 17, I've been able to be in these lockers, and you know, you can't state this enough. These are the moments in life you remember forever. And I know this is the ALDS clinch. This is to go to the ALCS. This is why you celebrate these, because this is big. It's a 162 game season, and this is just another accomplishment. Celebrate it along the way. These are the memories that you will have for the rest of your life. I've been a part of 3 of these. Once as a player, twice as a family member, and all of them I will never forget. You never forget that first splash of champagne in your eyes. I'm telling you, you can prepare for it, you can have goggles, it doesn't matter. Look at all those goggles. Look at these guys with their goggles. They know what's coming. Champagne to the eyes. It's the worst burn of all time, and you wouldn't trade it for the entire world. It is incredible. I'm so excited to, I live for these. I live to watch these, much less even be a part. Look at them. They're all in the lockers. The plastic's all wrapped. They're uncorking all the champagne. They're getting ready to go. This is going to be incredible. My favorite part is the manager start, you know, Alex Cora is going to come on, I think, and probably say a little speech. And you can feel it all bubbling up. You can feel the tensions getting there. You can feel the excitement. He's talking, and then at some point somebody just screams, "Let's go!" And then everybody starts uncorking the champagne. Everybody goes wild. Everybody dumps it on Cora, dumps it on Kike Hernandez, the hero of this series. These celebrations, man, you just watch these with a smile. It is incredible. Congratulations to the Red Sox. This is much deserved. Much deserved. So, look, let's toss it back to the regular broadcast with Fox, and we'll take you there now.
Since day one, you guys believe in this group. Not too many people believe outside this freaking clubhouse, but here we are.
This is incredible. It's hard not to root for these guys. It's hard not to like these guys. You look at guys on this team like Kike Hernandez, who is just another player on the Dodgers. He wasn't the guy. He comes to Boston. He's the guy for this team. He's the guy for this ALDS. It's hard not to root for him. You look at Kyle Schwarber, who's been there with the Cubs, but there were guys on that team. This team is a bunch of, they've created their own destinies on this team. It's hard not to root for a team like this. Just watching this celebration is so cool. You can see the passion, hearing Alex Cora talk, seeing how excited these guys got. You live for moments like this, and it's so cool to see guys that have become the guys on this Boston Red Sox team. Truly. So congratulations to the Boston Red Sox for taking down the #1 seed in the American League. Nobody thought they had a chance. Nobody. I didn't think they had a chance. Nobody thought they would even be here. And they take them down. This is incredible to watch. This is incredible to watch. You can't watch this anywhere else, guys. This is exclusive right here in the locker room. Red Sox celebration, Cora's speech, team going nuts right here. Exclusive right here. Can't get it anywhere else. This is awesome. What an incredible night. What an incredible game. What an incredible series. Definitely the best series that we've seen so far. And a perfect game to end it. The perfect player to end it, as I said earlier. Watching that celebration. Look at that. Seeing them dance around in the locker room. This is what it's all about. Look, I see Chris Sale there right now, who we saw warming up there at the end of the game. I don't know if this game ends up the same way. I want to see Chris Sale do well. I don't know if bringing him in at the end of this game when he's already not pitching great as a starter, I don't know if bringing him in out of his comfort zone, out of the bullpen is the way to do this, but he was warming up. He was warming up out there, and you know the place was going to go wild when he came in. Man, this is incredible. I hope you guys are enjoying this exclusive content right here inside the Red Sox locker room, the victorious locker room. You got all the boxes. Look, I'm telling you, that champagne goes quick. There seems to be a million bottles when you walk in. You're like, what are we supposed to do with all this? Here's what happens. It goes so quick. You pop the first bottle, it's a dud. You don't really know what you're doing, so you throw it out. You pop another one, and then you finally get the hang of it. And then you get another one, and you finally get it. And that's what happens with everybody. Except for the guys that have been there a bunch before. They know how to do it. But look, now they got the hang of it. This is incredible. Truly incredible. Now all the hugs begin. Now the interviews begin in the locker room where the reporter gets doused with champagne in their eyes. This is so cool. You know, one story that comes to mind from a locker room for me comes back. Obviously, there's two of them. One is a player. I'll give you one as a player. One as a family. As we see Kike Hernandez dancing his way shirtless through the locker room. One as a player, one as a family member. The one as a player comes from West Michigan Whitecaps earlier that I mentioned. I had Willie Adames on my team, who's a member of the playoffs. I had Chad Green on that team, who was a member of the playoffs with the Yankees. A bunch of guys on that team. We won the first half, and we get back into the locker room, and we're playing on the road. And we get back into the locker room, and just as a team, our coach started doing a speech, and before he could even get into it, somebody accidentally popped their champagne, and we all just went nuts immediately. Coach was in the middle of a speech. Guys, I'm so proud of you. Pop. Accidentally, and we all just went, ah! And then it began. Coach didn't get a speech in. Nobody was really listening anyway. We didn't really care. It was time to celebrate. And celebrate we did. A funny thing about this being in the minor leagues is that you have guys on the team that aren't always 21. You have some young guys on the team. So they had to bring in some like sparkling grape juice for the younger guys, but it didn't get used. But another one from this one goes way back. I was really young, and the Tigers in 2006, they beat the Oakland A's to go to the World Series, And I remember being in this locker room, and I was overwhelmed. At the time, I was 14 years old. I'm in this locker room with my brother and Miguel Cabrera and all of these studs, and I'm like, what is going on? And one thing I'll remember for the rest of my life is, you know, I was kind of like standing off to the side watching it all, and my brother calls me over and pops some champagne and just squirts it all in my face. And like the team went nuts around him. And, you know, it's all these little things that happen in these celebrations that you'll remember forever. Kike's dancing shirtless through the locker room, getting champagne all over him. I mean, these things you never forget. You really don't. It's incredible to watch. It's incredible for me to be a part of it. And to watch these guys, it's really cool. Let's throw it to a fan question. Let's see what we got here. This one comes from Eyes on Houston. Looking how it's shaping up to Astros versus Red Sox ALCS, what's the keys for Boston to win, given that Houston has destroyed them all year? This is based on if the Sox keep on to win it tonight. Well, first off, look, I don't know if we're assuming the Astros win this series. Look, they got blown out last night, and the atmosphere in Chicago proved to be way more impressive than I ever saw coming. Not that I didn't think it'd be great, but it was incredible. So to assume the Astros have this wrapped up, I think is a lot. But I'm with you. I do think the Astros win the series, but look, they have to get there first. And you're right. I think the Astros are a worse matchup for the Red Sox. I think the Astros can pitch a little, I think pitching, they're kind of neck and neck. The Astros pitching has been pretty good this postseason, and so has the Red Sox. But the Astros offense is a tough one. And I think that when you say the Astros kind of destroyed them all year, they did beat up on them all year. I think the Astros, if the Astros win this series, I think the Astros can win the ALCS and do win the ALCS. If the White Sox come back and win the ALDS against the Astros, I think the Red Sox have a chance to get to the World Series. I really do. This team, like I've said, wild card teams that get in when they're hot, it's just something special about them. It's just something special about those teams. The 2019 Nationals, the Giants teams that did it in the past, the Royals of 2014, the Cardinals in 2011. The list goes on and on of wild card teams that get in and are impressive. So if I'm either of those teams, if I'm the Astros or the White Sox, I'm scared of this Red Sox team. I really am. They mash. They absolutely mash. But to answer your question, looking how it's shaping up to an Astros-Red Sox ALCS, what's the keys for Boston to win? The keys for Boston to win is they have to shut down the Astros offense. And that has proven so far this year to be impossible. So I like the Astros in that series if that does happen. Let's get to another question. This one comes from Michael. Michael, Flippin' Bats, Ben Verlander. Ben, is the Boston bullpen good enough against either Chicago or Houston? That's a good question. Look, I don't think they're good enough against Houston. When you look at the Boston bullpen, it's been a struggle. That's why you saw Chris Sale warming up in the last inning to come in, who hasn't even been a great starter. He got hurt. Obviously, all the injuries, he comes back, he has a couple of good games, and then he struggles. He struggles big time. And then you give him a postseason start, and he really struggles. He doesn't get out of the first inning. He doesn't get past the first. And then this is how much faith you show in your bullpen, the back end of your bullpen, that you want to be lights out. When the game is on the line, when it's do or die, when it's all or nothing, when it's to go to the ALCS, who are you bringing in to shut the door? Chris Sale? I don't know about that. So I don't know. I don't think Boston's bullpen can hold up the Astros. I really don't. I've been watching this Astros White Sox series, and the White Sox bats haven't been great until last night when they put up 12 runs. But I feel like the Red Sox, if I'm the Red Sox, I want the White Sox to win the series. I want the battle of the Soxes. I want the Sox battle. I want the White Sox against the Red Sox. That's what I want if I'm the Red Sox, because I don't think they match up. I really don't think they match up well against the Astros. That Astros offense is incredible. I truly felt like the worst matchups remaining for the Astros was, one, the White Sox because of their pitching, which struggled, and then the Rays because of their pitching, and they didn't get out of this. The Red Sox, as the wild card team, take down the #1 seed. So if the Astros can get through the White Sox, I like their path. I think they match up really well against the Red Sox. I really do. Let's get to another question. This one comes from Pamela. Ben Verlander, MLB on Fox. As a right fielder yourself, did anything ever happen to you like what happened in the Red Sox game last night? That was a crazy play. I've never seen anything like what happened in that play. For those that don't remember, quick update. Sure, most of you know this. Big play in the game, ball off the right field wall, runner on first, Kiermaier hits it off the wall, crushes it, bounces back into play, runner's gonna score easily, it hits the right fielder, bounces over the wall, whoa, timeout, 2 bases, automatic 2 bases, runner goes back to third. Crazy. So I played a lot of right field in my life. You know, every year professionally I played right field. In college I played a year of right field. That's a lot of games out there. One thing that does come to mind is not quite this, but I did have a play out in right field one time. I made 2 errors professionally in right field, 2, which I feel good about. But one of them I remember vividly, okay? Ball down the line, it gets past me. It takes a weird hop and it goes like through me. I have to run back to the wall. There's a runner on first base. Okay, so here's where the similarities start. There's a runner on first base. I'm like, oh God, I'm embarrassed. What did I just do? What am I doing? Can I even field a ground ball? What was that? I'm running back to the wall. I'm like, this run's for sure scoring. So a lot of the padded walls in a lot of the walls in the outfield are padded. So, you know, they have, you know, all of it, 99.9% of the wall is padded. But the bottom little tiny bit is left open. It's open and you can like reach under there. So the ball hits off the wall, bounces back to me like, I don't know, like a foot. So I get back there, I know, everybody else is really far away from this play. So I get back there and with my foot, I kick the ball into that padding. I like jam it up into that padding and I yell, timeout, out of play, ball's out of play. So the umpire comes out and checks it out. I'm like, oh my God. I hope nobody saw this. I hope nobody saw my foot. He comes out there, he looks at the ball and goes, 2 bases, runner back to third base. I'm like, whoo, thank God. So that's what comes to mind for me as a play that happened as a right fielder. But this one that happened the other night is a huge play. It changes the momentum of this series. If it doesn't happen, if that ball doesn't hit off the right fielder, the run scores, who knows what happened? So I saw a lot of people saying, and this one kind of got to me a little bit. I saw a lot of people saying the Red Sox hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the inning. It wouldn't have mattered. 6-5 ball game, Red Sox are winners. That's not how sports works. Sports don't work like that. The second that run scores, all the variables change. All the variables change. You could bring in a new pitcher. Anything could change. Anything. So who knows how that series would have ended up. A big swing play in that series. What a series, though. Oh, my God. How can you not love October baseball? Let's talk about some other October baseball. The first game of the day. You know, we're out here on the West Coast. We're filming this live right here in Los Angeles. We're on the West Coast, so this game starts bright and early. The Braves and the Brewers. Like I talk about a lot, all you need to do as that low seed is get the split on the road. The Braves got that split. In Milwaukee, they go. Max Fried gives them an absolute dominant start. I love Max Fried. I love me some Max Fried. He goes out there and dominates, gives them a dominant start. They win the game. They get to go back to Atlanta 1-1, just as the Red Sox get to go back to Fenway 1-1. What do the Braves do? They win that first game at home. As the underdog, they get home in a tie series. I'm telling you, just win one, then you get to come home. Then you get Jock Peterson coming up as a pinch hitter, hitting bombs, 3-run bombs. It's Jocktober, baby. It's Jocktober. Jock Peterson now in this series. 3 for 3, 3 pinch hits, 2 bombs. This guy is the hero of the series, and he hasn't started a game. How crazy is that? Braves win this game 3-0. Jock Peterson pinch hits that 3-run bomb in the bottom of the 5th, and that's all they needed. Lights out. Pinch hit, 3-run bomb for Jock Peterson. Jocktober is here. He's rocking the pearls. He's rocking the pearl necklace. I saw him in a post-game interview. Look at that picture, by the way. You kidding me? That's October baseball. Right there. Incredible. He's rocking the pearls. I saw him in a post-game interview. Somebody was asking all about the pearls. They go, are those real? And he goes, yeah, they're real. It's like, I don't take them off. I don't take them off. Jock Peterson tweeting the sickest picture of all time with the tweet, Pearl Jam. Are you kidding me? How can you not be romantic about this game? The Braves have Ronald Acuna go down. Mike Soroka ends up not playing all year. Ozuna, with what happened with him, this team is a shell of what they were to start the year. And now they have the Milwaukee Brewers on the brink of elimination. You got a guy that wasn't even on the team a few months ago, hitting game-winning bombs, wearing a pearl necklace, tweeting the sickest picture of all time, saying Pearl Jam. Are you kidding me? This is incredible. Jock Peterson with the go-ahead bomb today, 3-0. That's all they needed. Look, this was a big, big game. One big mistake I thought, and I saw this went back and forth. I liked the Brewers all year long. I had them rated pretty high. I liked them this year. I liked them this series because of their pitching. Burns, Woodruff, Peralta. They're here because of their pitching. Then, what the Brewers do in a key, pivotal spot in this game, after 4 innings of brilliant work, Freddie Peralta, the starting pitcher, gets pinch hit for. I don't know if I like that. I know, and it's easy to be a sideline coach. It's easy in hindsight to say, I don't like that, because the Braves had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. They pull back Peralta, who was dominating, 0-0 ball game, pinch hitter, gets out, next batter, gets out. They end up not scoring a single run. They bring in a new pitcher. Before that pitcher even gets a single out, it's a 3-0 ball game. 3-0 ball game. You pull the starter, who's the reason you're here, for offense. When your team isn't known for offense, you're known for pitching. You pull your starting pitcher, and it immediately backfires. I know the way it turned out. It's easy for me to sit here and say they made the wrong decision. But I said it in the moment, too. I didn't like it one bit. You're here for your pitching. You pull your stud after 4 innings, and it ends up immediately costing you. So now your backs are against the wall. Now you're going to a game 4, backs against the wall. Burns, Woodruff, Peralta have already pitched. Your 3 guys. It's now 2-1 Atlanta in this series. Your guys have already gone. So I'm thinking, what do? You got to go back to Burns, who started game 1, your only win of this series. He dominated. Craig Counsell comes out and says, we're not throwing Corbin Burns. We're not throwing Corbin Burns. What are you doing? I don't know. Like, if you go out and throw Corbin Burns, I like your chances in that game. And then you get an off day. Then you get game 5 back home. You have Brandon Woodruff on the mound for a game 5 do or die in Milwaukee with one of the best pitchers in the league on the mound. I like your chances there. I don't like your chances not throwing one of your 3 guys. You're not going to put up a million runs. It's not what your team's known for. I'm worried about this Brewers team. I really am, especially since they're not starting Corbin Burns. I really am. I'm worried about them. That next game comes up tomorrow, do or die for the Brewers. It's going to be a big one. I'm excited for it. Let's move on to the other series. The next series, White Sox, Astros, who got rained out today. By the way, I consider myself sort of a weatherman. I knew this was coming. I did a weather segment back in the day on the live news. I crushed it. I knew this game was going to get rained out, and it did. Game gets rained out. Big game, by the way. 2-1 Astros coming on now, but now the White Sox have the momentum. A lot went on in that game last night. A lot went on in that game last night, which I want to talk about in a second. But the game gets rained out today. So what they do is Rodon's going to stay put. Rodon, who was going to throw today, is still going to throw tomorrow. That's staying the same. The Astros? No, no, no. Jose Urquidy was supposed to start today. Dusty Baker says, we're going with Lance McCullers Jr. Game 4 now. Back to the Game 1 starter. Going for the jugular. That's what they're doing. Speaking of weather, man, I gotta give Big Papi a little run for his money here. Big Papi on the pregame show today was doing his best weather segment. Who knew? On the Fox Sports baseball analysts, we have multiple weathermen. Big Papi up there killing the game, by the way. This is brilliant work. Yep, that's right. You circle it. You circle it. I gotta say, this is harder than you think when you're looking at a green screen. It's harder than you think. You're pointing in all these directions, but it's actually opposite. So kudos to Big Papi for killing this. I feel like we could crush a weather segment together. Game gets rained out. Game 4 will now be tomorrow. So Jose Urquidy is no longer pitching. Okay? No longer pitching. Lance McCullers back on the mound, going for the jugular. Game 4, White Sox with the momentum. We're stopping that momentum. That's what the Astros are saying. Because Game 2, the White Sox got all the momentum. They really did. This game, Game 2, wild. Absolutely wild. It's a blackout there in Chicago. Before the game even starts, this place is electric. This blackout was sick, by the way. They did an incredible job. I didn't even know this was happening until it happened, and then I turn it on and everybody's wearing black, and I'm like, okay, this looks like it could be cool. And then the crowd starts getting into it, and I'm like, confirmed, this is really cool. It was sick. And then they get on the board early. You think, oh boy, here come the White Sox. Now they're home. And what do the Astros do? They come back up. They put up 5 runs. Kyle Tucker, friend of the podcast, hits a bomb, having an incredible year and postseason, by the way. Puts them up 5-1, and then you think, this is over. Astros, sweep, bring out the brooms. Not so fast. Not so fast. The White Sox pile it on, man. An incredible performance on the offensive side of things. Truly, it was incredible. But there was one play throughout this game that the whole world was talking about. Whole world was talking about it. You know, we talked about it earlier about the Red Sox, the ball off the wall, a little controversial. What do you call it? Immediately after that game, another controversial call. Yasmani Grandal with a runner on third base hits a ground ball to first. Yuli Gurriel, the first baseman, comes up, throws home. It hits Grandal, goes to the backstop, run scores. Everybody's like, wait, timeout. It hit Grandal. What are we doing? That run doesn't count. Show the replay. Grandal's running in the grass. So you're like, for sure, okay, this is gonna be an out. Didn't happen. They allowed the run to score. So this play obviously became a huge talking point, and rightfully so. It was a big swing spot in this game. I want to talk about this play briefly because it was a huge part of this game. Grandal hits that ball to first. Gurriel comes up, throws it, hits Grandal in the arm. So look at where Grandal is right there. Look at where he is. He's in the grass. So as the rule states, you can kind of run, at least if as long as you're not interfering with a throw from home to first, you can kind of take whatever line you want to first base. Gurriel comes up to throw. It hits him. He's in the grass. The rule states, as long as you don't get in the way of the ball intentionally, there's nothing to do. The run counts. So what ends up transpiring here is the umpires get together and say, yeah, it wasn't intentional, and as per the rule, this run counts. I tweeted, wait, are you kidding me? They're allowing this to stand. Grandal threw his shoulder into it on purpose. You can't tell me that this wasn't done on purpose. Great heads-up play, by the way. No, I'm not taking anything away from him. If you can get away with it, you can get away with it. He was clearly going to be out at home. So why not just try and disrupt it? But it was intentional. He's coming out of the left-handed batter's box, and he ends up in the grass. The route to get to first from the left-handed batter's box is straight, not into the grass and then back over. You can't tell me it wasn't intentional. It was intentional. He's in the grass. Look, take it from me, as a guy that played more baseball in life than most people. I hit more rollover ground ball outs that I had to jog down to first base than a lot of people. Not a single time in my entire life have I ever run in the grass. You're only doing that to get in the way of the throw. So great, I get it all around, but the ruling that needed to be made, in my opinion, is Grandal did intentionally go out there. The run shouldn't count. But, I don't even know if that would have mattered. It was, at the time, a tight game, but the White Sox just go on to put up a bunch of runs, a boatload of runs. Put up 12, end up winning 12-6, so I don't really know if that would have mattered. It could have been a swing play, but they were the better team. They were the better team that night. They were the better team last night. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Now we have the rain out today. It's a 12-6 winner for the White Sox. It's now a 2-1 series. Can you win that game 4? Look, the White Sox have it cut out. They're up against it. They're up against it. They got it. They had to win the remaining 3. They accomplished the first. You take it one at a time. The atmosphere last night was insane. It was electric. I love it. I hope they bring the same fire as they brought last night, because it clearly affected the Astros. It affected the entire game. It was special. So now you go into a game 4 with one of the best pitchers in the American League all year in Carlos Rodon, who has struggled down the stretch. Not struggled as much, it's just fatigue has clearly gotten to him, but he's had a lot of time off. Tony La Russa said, we're sticking with him because he said he feels great. His arm is back. He feels electric. He feels like his stuff is there. He feels ready to go. If that's the case, this guy was a potential Cy Young winner all year long. So now we're looking at a matchup of 2 of the best pitchers in the American League all year. It was going to be Carlos Rodon and Urquidy. Now it's Carlos Rodon and Lance McCullers. This game tomorrow is gonna be sick. Gonna be sick. So if the White Sox can win it, they tie it up 2-2. Then you go back to Houston, where they haven't been very good all year long. They just haven't. Lance Lynn has struggled there. Everybody's struggled there. Things have been rough for them in Houston. But to get to Houston, you got to win that first one. You got to win the game tomorrow. And they're set up to do it. They're at home. And then on game 5 is a toss-up. All hands on deck for everybody. Hands on deck, game 5. It's October baseball. You live for those moments. You see who was built for those moments. You see who was meant to move on and who was meant to win those games. Selfishly, I hope it gets to a game 5. I love game 5s. So we're getting close to a game 4 tomorrow. Excited for that. Let's check in on the other game, by the way. This Giants-Dodgers series tied 1-1 for the series. 1-1 series. Now we're playing game 3 in Dodger Stadium. We're back in LA. It's 1-0 Giants. Woo! Evan Longoria hit a bomb. Let's go. Evan, look at what this Giants team has done in the playoffs, by the way. Who stepped up? Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria. But you can't state it enough, my friends. You can't state this enough. If you're the lower seed and you can go on the road and split, you get all the momentum. So the Giants are really, really going to have to step up here, and they're starting off hot. They're starting off on a good note. 1-0 ball game. As we stand here, we're heading to the second half of the ball game. We're getting late. Tensions are rising. Evan Longoria. Look at this team, man. This series is so cool to me because you have the Dodgers, on paper, best team in the world. Best team that's been assembled in a long time, maybe ever. They don't even win their division. The Giants win the division by a game. So then you get into the playoffs. The Dodgers end up winning that wild card game, and then it gets to the playoffs, and then they play the Giants. For the first time, these two franchises have been around for a long, long time. Rivals, one of the best rivalries in the game. For the first time in their history, they play each other in the playoffs. They play each other in the playoffs, which is sick. So now we're at game 3, 1-0. The guys that are getting it done for the Giants, by the way, like I said, Posey, Crawford, Longoria. A blast from the past. Logan Webb on the mound, obviously, with one of the best performances of this in game 1. One of the best performances of anybody in this entire playoff so far. Logan Webb in game 1 goes out, shuts them down, 7 2/3, dominant outing. Game 1 victory for the Giants. But then there's game 2. Can the Giants win that massive game 2? Can they sweep at home? Can they win 2 of the 2 games at home before going to Dodger Stadium, where it ain't going to get easier, I promise you that? The answer was no. And honestly, it became pretty apparent pretty quickly. This Dodgers team was showing off their firepower early. Mookie Betts early in the game getting it going. Chris Taylor driving in runs. Cody Bellinger, who, look, we all know Cody Bellinger has struggled this year. And that's no secret to anybody. It's not a secret to him. It's not a secret to the Dodgers. But playoff Cody, playoff Cody's showing up. This guy comes up with the bases loaded, key spot in the game. It's a close ball game. Cody Bellinger, bases loaded. What's going to happen? He's struggled all year. He's 2 for 53 against the Giants on the year. 2 for 53 against the Giants on the season. Can he get it done? Yes. Bases loaded, ball off the wall. Everybody's scoring. Game's broken open. Dodgers are going to win it. That was the momentum. That was the momentum changer on that play right there. Cody Bellinger breaking it open. You know, from then on, that was ball game. You know, at that point, it became a 6-1 lead for the Dodgers. They go on to win game 2. That massive, massive, massive statement that I was talking about. So is this series going to be the same as what we just saw with the Rays and the Red Sox? If you're the Dodgers, you're hoping so, because you had that same statement game. You had that game 1 where you couldn't score if you're the Dodgers. It's a blowout game. Everybody's saying, yep, this is why they're the #1 seed. This right here, this is why. What's going to happen in this series? Could it be over quick? No. Dodgers come out in that game 2 and make a statement, just as the Red Sox did. Put up a bunch of runs on the road and they make a statement in a big swing game. So now you have these 2 teams going to LA, right down the road here. They're about 2 miles away, just a quick 3-hour drive, 2 miles. It's a big one. But as of right now, the Giants have come to play. Can they keep this up? As we sit, it's a 1-0 ball game. So as of right now, the Giants aren't letting the Dodgers be the Red Sox. They aren't letting that big statement game affect them and go in and lay down to the Dodgers on the road. Because as the higher seed, you can go on the road in a split series and never play another home game for the rest of the year. That's how quick it can happen, and we just saw it with the Rays. You're the #1 seed. You win the first game of the series. You're sitting pretty. You lose that second one. You go on the road. They need to win both of them, as in the Red Sox, and they do. And you don't get another playoff game for the rest of the year. You win 100 games. You win 100 games. You win the division. You go in as the 1 seed to the playoffs. You open up that first game with a win. The Red Sox make a statement in game 2, and the Rays never get back home. What's going to happen in this series with the Giants and the Dodgers? It could easily happen. It really could. The Dodgers are good enough. It could easily happen. So it's good to see. It's good to see, if you're a Giants fan, Longoria coming out, the pitching coming out and dominating, Alex Wood coming out and throwing a gem, Max Scherzer's on the other side throwing a gem, but Longoria jumps the gun, jumps him, hits a bomb, 1-0 ball game. This is how you stop the momentum. This game right here is how you guarantee a home game for yourself the rest of this season. This game is how you guarantee you're playing another home game. This is a big one. This is a big one. This is the swing game. I believe when we look at this series, whoever wins this game wins the series. And I know that's not a super hot take. 73% of the teams in a best-of-5 series that win that third game after splitting the first two win the series. That was a lot of numbers. That was a lot of info. Let me repeat it. 73% of the teams that win Game 3 after you split the first two in a 5-game series win the series. So now, here we are. We're in the second half of Game 3. The Giants are up 1-0. The Giants have a great pen. Can the Giants close it out? I believe they can. I believe they can close it out. And I believe they win this series. I believe they win this series. So, here we are, Dodgers-Giants. Tune in after this to the game. What's going to happen? Massive swing game. I got the Giants. I got the Giants. I got the Giants winning this game, and if so facto winning the series, because I just told you 73%. I'm not a great math guy, but I know 73% is on my side. So I think the Giants win this game tonight. I think the Giants win the series, but we shall see how it shakes out. Both of these teams are so good, man. I love these two teams. I love this battle. The history, the rivalry, the passion, the studs, the superstars. You got it all in this series. And it's happening right now. They tied 1-1 in the series. Giants up 1-0 in Game 3. What's going to happen? I don't know, but I'm pumped to see it. I'm pumped to see it. You know what? This day has been incredible. I look back at that Red Sox game. I can't stop thinking about that Red Sox game, man. I was sitting right here. I was locked in for the entire game. The entire game. Locked in. I thought early the Red Sox had it. But you know what? The Rays battled back. That's what makes this series so incredible. The Rays are the Rays. The Rays are a great team. But when it was all said and done, when it all came down to it, look at this tweet from the Red Sox. This says it all. Alert! Flight to Tampa canceled. I love it. I love it. This team is so fun. This team is fun to watch. Fenway Park is unbeatable in the playoffs. If you ever have a chance in your lifetime to experience a playoff game in October at Fenway Park, do it. You will not regret it. It is electric from start to finish. Sweet Caroline in the 8th inning. Everyone's screaming it. I had the chills in the stadium, hearing it live, and I was there rooting for the away team. I was rooting for my brother. I had the chills watching it. But I get the chills a lot. I'm a sap for this game, as I say a lot. Look, by the way, we have my instant reaction to this walk-off for the Red Sox win the series. They're going to the ALCS. They walk off Game 4 at Fenway Park. I was watching it right here, right before we went live. Let's check out my instant reaction to that walk-off.
Does Hernandez try it, or does he swing away? On an 0-1 pitch, Hernandez.
Oh!
Center field. It is pulled in by Meadows. Here comes Sox.
Ball game!
Red Sox.
What a game! Incredible. What a freaking game. I love this game, man. I love this game more than anything. I truly do. I played this game for a long, long time in my life, but I truly believe I was put on this earth to talk about the game of baseball. I truly believe I was put on this earth to show my love and my passion for the game of baseball to the world. And I don't mean to get all sappy. That comes off a little sappy, but I mean it. That's my genuine reaction to a game that I've been sitting here watching. I love this game. I love bringing my passion to this game to you guys. I loved watching that walk-off. Congratulations to the Boston Red Sox for winning against the #1 seed in the American League. Congrats on that walk-off. I can't wait to see how all these other series shake out. I can't wait for you all to see my live reaction to those series. That was genuine right there. That was genuine. I was in love watching this game. I love this game. I'm so passionate about this game. I love bringing it to you guys. I hope you guys like it and you see the passion as much as I do. Make sure you all are following along everywhere for Flippin' Bats Pod, by the way. You got YouTube, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, all Flippin' Bats Pod on all of them. Make sure you're downloading and subscribing on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify if you're on Apple. Scroll down. 5 stars. Just do it. But make sure you're subscribing to those too. Make sure you're following on social media. What a day! What a day, everyone. It's been absolutely incredible. It has been a blast being here. I hope you all enjoyed the live reaction as much as I did. I hope you all enjoy the rest of these series. This has been incredible. If we can get anything like for the rest of the way that we got in this series, the Rays Red Sox, we're in for a great, great October, and it's already been incredible. What a night. What a day, and I will see you next time on Flippin' Bats. Peace out, everyone.